Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to do an unboxing of Vietnam Solitaire from White Dog Games. This is a game that I picked up at the San Diego Historical Games Convention in the raffle, and I get to share the inside of the box for you. But White Dog Games puts this out. It is printed by Blue Panther, so those of you who have bought any White Dogs games before or Hollandspiel games, you'll be familiar with the contents. Let's take a look at the back of the box. It says Vietnam Solitaire Special Edition is an area movement strategy game. Beside the original and special edition campaign games that cover the entire war, 3 scenarios are provided: Tet 1968, the fall of South Vietnam, and the Easter Offensive. In addition, there is a 2-player variant. Optional rules are available for rough pups and limited B-52 effectiveness in Laos and Cambodia. Political points are used to raise and move troops and conduct some combats. The game features U.S. ARVN and insurgency combat as well as NVA-VC offensives. So here's an example of, or a sample I should say, of the map that comes with the game and some of the counters that you'll see in the game. It says game components: 17 by 11 game board / map, all game charts and tables located on the game board, 5/8 inch square thick laser cut counters and markers, 4-page original game rulebook, an 8-page special edition game rulebook, and a 3-page Easter offensive scenario rulebook. So that's what you get inside this game. And let's take a look inside the box so we can see those contents that were listed at the back of the box. And we've got our manual here for the special edition rules, Easter offensive scenarios, and actually 2 copies of the Easter offensive scenario. I'm going to assume there are other things in it, but we'll take a look at those in a minute. Here are your 88 counters. You see the U.S. ARVN and NVA-VC counters, as well as some ROC ANZAC counters and some other administrative counters like the Ho Chi Minh Trail, game turn, political points, and so forth. And those are the front and the back. There's nothing on the back. These are all single-sided counters. But that is a look at the counters that come with the game. Now we'll take a look at the map. Put aside this manual, or the bottom of the box, and we'll flip it over. Pretty basic map. It is not super high-tech in the graphics department, but it looks like it's going to get all the information, give us all the information we need to play the game. Up here at the top right, it has sequence of play, has political events chart over on the right, and the political points and the cost chart, and a record track down here. And then each of the areas in Vietnam, the major areas that it's using. You have Haiphong, Hanoi, Laos, 2 for Laos and 2 for Cambodia. Then you have Hue, the Highlands, Cu Chi, Saigon, and Mekong for the Delta down at the south. Example of the unit information, what each part of the counter says, and then the map key, trail area, jungle, rice paddy, and urban. So these are rice paddies. This here is jungle. This is urban, and with some rice paddies there. This area is split between jungle and rice paddy. This is primarily jungle with a little bit of rice paddy, and this is half jungle with some urban and rice paddy there on each of those areas of the map. So take a look inside the manual. Let's try to determine right now what we've got in here. This is just the Easter Offensive, it looks like. Yes, so ended up with 2 copies of the Easter Offensive, which is fine. I have a spare in case I need it, but let's take a look at the manual itself. As it says here, it only goes to page 8. It starts off with your introduction on page 1, goes all the way to page 8, and there is, the rules themselves actually go to about page 6, where it goes into the air cavalry deployment, scoring, victory check, and events roll, and then the shorter scenarios start on page 7. There is a 2-player variant, as well as optional rules, designer notes, and references. So 8 pages of rules is not actually a full 8 pages, so this should be an easy game to sit down with and digest and get it on the table to play. Go into the different or the pieces of the game setup where you put all units in different areas, sequence of play, And then it breaks down the sequence of play here further to walk you through it. Roll for trail counters, attack trail areas, raise, move U.S. ARVN forces, U.S. ARVN combat. Then let's place the NVA VC units. So the U.S. goes first, NVA/VC goes second. Then you have insurgency combat, NVA VC offensive, air cavalry deployment, and then scoring victory check and the events roll. And that is the last part of the turret. And as I said, it goes through each one of these steps a piece at a time, so you can just put it on the table and set it up and start playing. So that is pretty good at getting a game on the table and getting it played pretty quick, which I really like. And then we get to the end of the rules, and then we get into the shorter scenarios. You have TET 68, the NVA VC setup here, the US ARVN setup here for, oh, actually, this is fall of South Vietnam. So this here is the US ARVN setup for TET 68, NVA VC setup here, US ARVN setup up here, and then NVA VC setup for the fall of South Vietnam. Then the two-player option explains to you how you can play the game using two players as opposed to just being solitaire. And then you have optional rules, which is pretty simple. Rough puffs and limited B-52 effectiveness are the two optional rules that you can use. Then there's some designer's notes here, and then references of the different books that were used in research for the game. But game design here is credited to Steve Kling based on the original rules by Dave Kershaw. And again, as I said, this is from White Dog Games. It came out in 2013, but that gives you an idea of what's inside Vietnam Solitaire from White Dog Games. If you're interested in this game, this is what you're going to get in it. I know it's got very good marks from everyone online, and that's what's got me interested in checking it out. But that's what you get inside Vietnam Solitaire. If you have any comments or questions, post them below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.